Another thing history tells us is that Trump didn't just appear out of nowhere. His election was the product of a trend that has been underway for decades. Now, I want you to think about this. Go back 70 years, or a little more than 70 years, to the late 1940s. And coming out of that decade and roughly through the next 25 or 30 years, all the presidents we elected not only had experience in government, but experience in Washington. So Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, every one of those presidents experienced in government, and in particular experienced in the federal government. Well, that kind of makes sense when you think that just before that era began, we had licked the Great Depression and licked the Axis in World War II, and most people thought the federal government was doing a pretty good job and could be trusted. And then along came Vietnam and Watergate. And people still wanted their presidents to have experience in government, but now it wasn't Washington experience they wanted, it was experience in the states. So Jimmy Carter, former governor of Georgia, gets elected in 1976 by basically saying, I've never been part of that Washington mess, but I know how government works. I've been the governor of a state. And so it's Carter, it's Governor Ronald Reagan, it's Governor Bill Clinton, it's Governor George W. Bush. So the trend is away from Washington in terms of where we're seeking our presidents, but still we want experience in government. If you look at it that way, Donald Trump is sort of like the next iteration of that trend. Not only never been part of Washington, but never been part of government at all. And if you think about his appeal as a candidate, so much of it was, there's a swamp there. I'll drain it. I've been in business. I know how to make things happen. They don't know how to do that in government. Send me there, I'll get things done. And because we have, as a people, grown steadily more disillusioned, not just with the federal government, but with government in particular, we were sort of ready for that kind of appeal. We were open to that sort of appeal, the appeal of a candidate unlike any other in history who has been elected to the presidency or even nominated by a major party,